Welcome to the VIP section.
SHEABABY,
For you tonight. Now, Russ, I'm telling you, look, first of all, tonight's show is definitely sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. You know we had to do that. You know I had to put the chain on. And you know what, Russ? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You heard it. The smell of that bourbon. The smell of that bourbon. And I went and got me a little fancy cup. Shannon Sharp style. Shannon Sharp style. Drink me a little bourbon tonight.
Nice.
But now, Russ, I want to thank you for pulling up because tonight is one of them nights that, you know, dude, you know I love basketball. Basketball is like passion. Like, besides the music shit and besides all of that, basketball is everything to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it all started. You know what I mean? Even the street niggas that I know and the street shit that I've got involved in life, it all started from the basketball. Basketball niggas, they all wound up, if they didn't go to the league, niggas got in the streets.
Right.
So,
Right.
that I trusted that I would move with. Let's keep it 100. So, you know, I'm always listening to things. So the first thing that I listened to was this thing on It Is What It Is show with the top guards in New York City.
Get right to it.
I'm getting right to it, Russ.
Get right to the money.
I'm getting right
to the money.
Because let me sip some of that Mr. and Mrs. Real saucy. Let's get right to it. Yeah, so I just want to start there because we're going to start from the beginning because I feel like a lot of people need to know your story. Because you've been a guy that's been, I want to say, in like, people don't really know the mud, Russ, like that. They only know you from up here, Russ.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the story.
Right, yeah, because it's a lot of things that happened before.
That's what I mean. And that's what I think they don't put you in these conversations. They don't understand.
I don't, and I have these conversations with my man, and it's always funny because they know me as like as like humble, conservative. You know, I stay out the way. You know, I kind of do my own thing, but like. They yell at me, you know, they get mad at me, you know, I see KT here, like KT one of them, Mel, Puda, they want me to get mad, but it's like my approach with hoop has always been, I'ma see you in traffic and I'ma see you when I see you, and you know, then when I see you it's always gonna be up. And now like you were saying, like you know, it's like the conversation kind of has to be had because like people don't talk about what used to happen before all of the wars, the chips, the numbers, the records, everything, and who was really outside, who wasn't. Because there's a lot of pros that'll claim like, oh, I'm top this, I'm top that, but they was never like, you know. Y'all never was outside, you know.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. And that's where it's always a lot of disconnect. That it's like how do you scale the level of success? Like, what's the scale? What's the bar? You know, is the bar your professional career? Is the bar your high school career? Is the scale what you did in college? How much money you made? You know, what are we weighing? You know, what are we talking about here? And that's where I've always been confused at. So I just really stay out of it.
That's my thing. When you talk about trophies, like I see these guys that had the documentaries when they were young. Your room looked the same.
Nah, my room is crazy.
Your room is crazy. They don't understand that trophy room you have.
My room is ridiculous.
But for real, everything that puts these guys on these pedestals of being in these conversations, I feel like you have the same accomplishments.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
And if not, then some.
It's not. and more,
Like, we're going to
easily
get
more.
there. We're going to start, not to cut you off, because you definitely have to talk. We're going to sit back and listen today. Today, Shay Baby's not talking at all. We need to hear the story. For real, Russ, because I'm even
Nah,
mad. I argue.
I feel you.
I
I
feel like
feel you.
throwing
I
this
feel
fucking
you.
bottle at the
My
wall.
pops is bad.
I
Everybody's
feel like throwing
upset.
this bottle at the
Every
niggas know I have a Russ Dickless chain on. You are
Facts.
my nigga.
Facts.
And I do podcast
Facts.
work. Mace Cam,
Facts.
I love y'all. Y'all my niggas, love your show to death. But y'all missed one here. And I'm going to tell you why. They never talk about the people that y'all are putting in these categories. You fucking broke their records.
Oh yeah.
They don't talk
Yeah.
that.
It's it's a long story, bro. Like it's layered too. It's all layered. So it's best. I don't even know how to go about it for real, but to say facts. Like I don't even know where to start. You know, that's what it comes down to. Like, where do you start at? You know, where do you want to start at?
Okay, this is where I want to start, Russ. I'm glad you said that. Another sip of the Mr. and Mrs.
Word up.
Okay, this is where I want to start at. I want to start from the Coach We eras,
Right.
the 8 under eras. I want to start from there. The only reason being is the outside part that you was talking about.
Yeah, that's important.
That's very important. The grassroots of, if you notice in the promo flyer, I made sure that they put in there the only AAU picture you have on the internet, the Gauchos. Because understand, you were a killer on that circuit. From
everywhere. Everywhere. And you know, like even when I threw the Chose on, like when I threw the Chose uniform on, that was just so I could travel because I didn't want to play with the Chose because the Chose wouldn't let me rock out the way I really wanted to really cook. So that's why I was rocking out with you. We was in Westchester. We was with the Ravens running around, but I was rocking out with Team Rock, and we was up in Harlem in the Bronx running around. I was with Team Odom, Lamar Odom's team when they had a team. We was bugging the hell out in Queens, and then I'm in Brooklyn. I'm with Juice. I'm with the hood team. We everywhere in Brooklyn, washing everybody up. And then I also played CYO. So when you do CYO, the Catholic School League, you do Brooklyn and Queens, and you playing against all the top middle schools and in the Brooklyn Queens side. But then again, you know, all of my people from Harlem and the Bronx. So I'm getting all the citywides in, all the UDCs in. I'm getting all the Millbanks in. I'm getting all the home club. You know, remember there's two Ruckers. You got the EBCs and you got the home club Ruckers. I'm getting both of those in. And then we got the Save Our Children tournament on, I think, 137th and Lenox. I was everywhere, you know. So pro style. So like when we talk about outside and at a young age and just catching bump and catching wreck, I'm playing 6, 7, 8 games a day, and like the Coach Coach Steve. We had Tommy around. We had the Paul Subas around. You had the Shangies around. It was a lot of good guys. Turtle, can't forget Turtle. Oh yeah, can't forget Turtle, the Abyssinian. Word up, you know. So talking about just everything in that era, that's kind of what made me because at that age in New York, everybody was competitive. Everybody thought they was better than the next person, and respectfully so. Like, you know, we all from the same. We all in the same bucket. We all trying to get out,
now
and that's what a lot of people miss. I feel like
facts. That's why I wanted to start at that age, the 8 and under kind of Coach We era, because you guys all started at a young age. Let's keep it real. And they always talk about, you know, that's why they put the Marbury class. They put the you know, they have the, I guess, the Sebastian Telfair classes. And then they even go as far as even going back to the 80s with the Kenny Anderson class. But it's like
of course.
It seems like because you guys have internet and Twitter at that time, that they don't even give you guys the respect. And I've been saying, that's why I wanted to start the 8-year-old. That crew, your whole crew from when y'all first started went to Baby NBA
Yeah,
biggies.
yeah, for sure. I started out with I mean my group is insane. I honestly think we was one of the I don't want to like there's a
Y'all
lot of
there
guys
with
that's coming.
Marbury's and the
Yeah,
Stephons in
nah,
there.
like
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
like
Okay?
our class was
This is sick.
probably 20 like I mean from the '07 to 2010 like that
Word.
class was crazy. I mean, we got the Kimbas, the Irvin Walkers. I mean, that whole group because Irv was ranked #1 from fourth grade or third grade up until high
100%.
school. Yeah, and then Kimba came on late. Then we had Truck, we had Jordan Theodore, we had Kyrie, we had Durant Scott,
You
we
got
had
Momo on
Momo,
the other side.
Sean Johnson went to Duquesne.
Exactly.
Then even George Beeman. George Beeman had a great career at Manhattan.
Facts.
And he was always back in the rankings. Keith Spellman, in my eyes, was one of the best high school basketball players in New York. He was 25 a night for 4 years in a row at Jeff, but they just kept getting knocked out against Lincoln. And
Facts.
then we had Lance. Um, we had Vincent Council. He's the all-time Big East assist leader. And our class was, I mean, that whole era, that group was loaded. Rasheem King, rest in peace. He was 6'6" guard, was dunking shit. Damn, it's Sylvan Lance. Sylvan was our group. JJ Moore was our group. And then up top we had Kilpatrick, we had Sean,
Hey,
um,
baby.
Tony, Tony Taylor. Tony Taylor from up your way,
100%.
Belfon Bolden up your way, Mookie up your
Mookie.
way, Jimmer Fredette,
I got
yeah, Jimmer
my
Fredette,
Mookie.
Johnny Flynn.
I just want to let you know Mookie. Mookie.
Yo, we had
Bro.
word up, we had everybody, dog. And like, I mean, Kim was the obvious, but like just in general, like the our group was just crazy. So it was always something going on, and those are just the people that had names like that we know,
Right.
you know.
Okay, so this is why I wanted to start there too, also, Russ. Okay, because this is why I reached out to you today and say, Russ, longtime family, I got to bring you on tonight because the Cam and Mace, I feel like when they mention these names, it's like they mention the niggas that roll with the rappers, like
I
the groupie names. You know what I'm saying? They not really going to the mud and looking at the stats of really, 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 really who's killing the game.
Yeah, I think it was more like a error thing, and then who's at the top of the of their how do you say, I don't know the word for it, but I just think that like off the head, the first people that they think about,
Mhm.
that's what they were blurting out, and then people that obviously then done great things in their life. Like, I mean, talk about Marbury, talk about Rod, Mark Jackson. They had
Yeah, of
great professional careers.
course.
Skip. Yeah, those are like the obvious,
Right.
like those are just like obviously. But I think on another note, like there's a more serious conversation to be had.
Yes, we're not gonna
Right.
look at like, okay,
Yeah.
what I mean. This is what I mean. And I'm gonna compare this to rappers, and I got to. So I looked at a lot of these guys that people list as like the top five. The arguments that you have.
Yeah.
These are the guys that were able to, like, pretty much had the fame and the success from the machines
Right.
to be the head for you to say they're top five.
Right.
Opposed to
Right. Absolutely. If
L's
I
and the guys that are nice that don't get
if
mentioned.
I put you so here's and then I always say this, like if I were to give somebody an opportunity at, let's use just Bishop Loughlin for an example, and I surround him around Deron Lamb, I surround him around Dan Jennings, who going to West Virginia, I put
Right.
him around Javon Pinkston, who's going to Villanova. You better get a school if you play basketball. You better be
Yeah.
good. Obviously if you're trying to play at that level. But then again, if you had a school like Bishop Loughlin or Rice or St. Ray's with a national schedule, that's all going to help you and plus forward the machine, and with me and there's a bunch of others. I took a different route. Like I went to Archbishop Malloy. We didn't have a national schedule. We didn't have any of that. But I wanted to play against all of those guys. And there's a lot of guys that were like that as well. There's a lot of guys that couldn't go on the Gaucho team because there's a situation that's established. Like we already have Gauchos was ran like a professional club when I was playing.
Facts.
Like you can't I don't care. I led New York in scoring 2 years in a row at 30 a game, but I wasn't the first option. I was like the fourth, fifth, maybe the sixth option on that team, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, where did I go? I had to go somewhere else. But there's a lot of stories like mine in New York. I'm just one of the ones that made it out. That's why I just feel like I'm just more so like the people's champ, because they know the people aren't stupid. Like they know who was really outside, who was really putting in the work, who was really getting it in. But that's just the era that we're in. And also too, like the way I was raised, you always gotta pay homage to those that came before you. But like you were saying, like there is a more serious conversation to have at hand, even with myself. So that's how I feel. I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
Cam is a nigga that's pretty much, he should understand that though too, because he's a guy that's also in conversations like that too. Him,
right.
Like he's a guy that's been in the game, that sold a lot of records. It's obvious they still are in the game, but they're not mentioned in those conversations.
But the people know, like, hey, when we talking about rappers, like, yeah, Cam and Mace is crazy. Let's not act like they not. Like even with Kiss, like Kiss is my favorite rapper. Like, so I don't like when people try to throw out commercial names. I'm like, nah, it's always gonna be Kiss for me, and that's and whatever else comes with that. But I always feel like a lot of the names that get thrown out or mentioned in New York, it's always the guys that are like the McDonald All-Americans or the 10-year pros or the person that got drafted lottery. And sometimes it's tough to figure out the scale of how we're doing these things, because I'm unsure, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and get clowned for it. I don't want to be like, yo, I averaged 30 in high school. I'm top 5 out of New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to look crazy, but I don't know I don't know the scale.
Crazy, because that list that year was, like that's what niggas don't understand. Like I compared the list of all cities of the Marbury era. I compared the list of all cities of the Sebastian era. I compared to all cities of even the my man Marbury era, and compared it to your era. Your era, all city, is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
No,
we're talking about
stupid. It makes no sense, bro.
No
like
sense.
It's really
all
dumb. Like if I like the Catholic School League during the time that I was there, from my sophomore year to my senior year, was arguably the best league in America. Here's why: because nowadays and outside of New York, there's a lot of prep school leagues, prep leagues.
Right.
So people could reclass, people could do a bunch of like cheesy shit,
Yeah.
People can be from Chicago and be playing with a prep school from Florida. Like it's like a lot of weird cheesy shit.
Right.
Whatever floats your boat, I don't care. But New York at that time was the most grassroots, official, no cheesy bullshit teams. Like we're all from New York, and they're all going Big East. We have McDonald All-Americans in our league. We have big men in our league. We have people dunking shit. We have people we have pros coming out of high school. We have those. We had those in New York. So when I say for example, Rice had Kimba, Momo, Durant Scott all starting. Like that was nuts. And then, but they also had at one point it was Sos, Curtis Kelly. Like it's like, damn, like how many guys do they have? Rice is loaded. Then St. Ray's at one point had Amari, Kev, Truck. There's just that's Kansas State, that's Arizona, that's West Virginia. Christ the King had Malik Booth, Irvin Walker, Malik Booth at St. John's, Irvin Walker,
Yeah.
Sean Johnson, Duquesne, Ryan Pearson, George Mason. It just goes on. It was loaded top to bottom. But
Right.
our era is definitely one of those eras
Hell
for sure. Like you
yeah.
can't even.
So I want to talk about the matchups at a young
Yeah.
age. The matchups at a young age. Now we're talking, because I remember, I was in the circuit. I had a cousin that was y'all age that was playing around. My man Mike, Mike, of course, and we was running around too. So I remember walking in the parks at 10 years old. They're like, "Oh shit, Russ Smith is playing Chuck Bryant. Russ Smith is playing." How was that growing up, knowing that your father's like the man when it comes to? Let's just start with the Gauchos.
Right.
Let's just say that's his building.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
keep it real. Let's
For
just keep
sure.
it real. That's Big Russ's building.
Easy.
And how was it growing up, knowing that your father had the keys to the building, was the man in the Gauchos? Was it a lot of pressure growing up as a kid, like just being Big Russ's little son? No, for real, bro. I never.
It was more so like it wasn't pressure. It was of being the son. It was pressure of coming home not getting 20.
Got you.
Yeah, like it was like I can't have a game under 20 points. So at a young age, when I had like 15 or 17, or I kind of teetered that line, I would nigga would holler at me.
Yeah.
And I'm 9 years old, I'm 10 years old, and he's hollering at me on some shit like, yo, you had 18, like you had 17, and even on my family, my uncles, it was the same way. They couldn't figure it. It was one of those things where they couldn't figure it out. So it wasn't really pressure being the son. It was more so pressure that I had to cook everybody every single time I played in a game.
Hey,
Like
baby. Crazy.
And what's wild is that for everybody that's watching me play, I don't even think they've seen a game where I've had less than 20.
Facts.
Or 25. I promise you, I honest to God, like if you ask everybody from New York that's ever watched me play, I don't think they can remember a game that I've had under 20.
Facts.
And if I did, you could probably count it on one hand. And I've played 10,000 games in my life. But that was what it was.
Yeah, because they don't. I mean, like seeing you I remember the first time I saw you, Russ. I ain't gonna lie. This was maybe you was like 9 years old. My little cousin was on the team, and y'all were playing in a tournament in Westchester, and y'all were down like 15 points. And I mean, Kimber's on the team. I mean, Durant, Scott, Truck. Y'all loaded. Gauchos, of course. Sylvan's on the team. Lil Mike. I think Sheba was the coach. And they looked down the bench. This is the first time I seen you, right? And this was like maybe like the third quarter. So he said they put you in the game. And the whole time I never knew you was. I was like, yo, why are they putting this little dude in the game right now and they down? Because of course you want to see your number going.
Yeah.
Like, yo, why they putting this little dude right now and they down 10 and you got big guards on the bench? And then I never had that conversation ever again with anybody. From there it was, yo, keep this nigga on the court. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How was it, Russ, being at, like 9 years old? Because you had your growth spurt late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You always looked like a real little baby.
I was small.
You were small.
Like, even when I got
even at the baby face.
When I got to college, bro, I mean, I came into college 132 pounds, and then I got into Louisville 132 pounds, and I got hurt. And I got hurt. And then when I got hurt, mind you, when I got to school, I had a 46 vert, so I was flying everywhere. They just posted some highlights, and you see me punching shit.
Yeah.
Like I punch, I dunk shit. So but when I got to school, I gained 30 pounds or 32 pounds. I went from 132 to like 168 in like 3 or 4 months. But I've always been small my entire life. But what helped was that I always played against older kids.
Right.
And so I never was really scared of nothing. Like It was like I never even knew. I didn't know I was small until I got to college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel you.
Like that type shit. Like I didn't know I was undersized until I got to college. I didn't know I was really undersized until I became a pro. And that's when it really clicked in my head, like, oh, I can't get away with the shit I used to get away with because I am undersized. But I play with so much passion and heart. I play on both sides of the ball. So I play defense and I play offense. And I always try to let my passion drive the boat. So I never really felt like size was something that could hold me back. But that's just the way I thought and still think to this day.
Right. So, chip on the shoulder. This was one of the topics that I wanted to talk about. Chip on the shoulder. Did you ever felt like you've always had a chip on your shoulder to kill people? Because Russ, I'm telling you, that's why I say I feel like you got to be in these conversations because I feel like you killed all these niggas.
Yeah, nah, for sure. No, for sure. Like I think it's and my boys get mad at me because um they're saying the same thing that you're saying, and it's the elephant in the room though. When I'm with a lot of these people or a lot of these guys that play basketball or these pros, and I'm always quiet around them. I'm always conserved because ain't really nothing to talk about. Yeah, I done gave you 40, 30 a bunch of times, 60. Like who give a you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
yeah, like we gonna talk about something else because I know that's not what you want to talk about.
Right.
I'm not about to sit here and argue with you.
Nah,
You know,
facts.
like
Yeah.
so it's like what what is there to talk about? What is there to talk about? We know what I did in New York. It's not a secret. So um it's just a matter of who wants to bring my name up and who wants to debate it. And but it's a worthwhile debate because if people were talking about high school and how long they've been in pros and their influence, I could just talk about how I'm arguably the greatest player that ever came from New York to play in college.
Facts.
My my
That's what I'm
so
glad you brought that up.
that's
And in
right.
college, you are him. That's a
Right.
fact.
Right. It's
Get
like
out a fucking bomb,
yeah,
blow
cuz
the fucking place up. I've been saying
word
these
because it's like
don't add up in
because
college, bro.
because it's
Even Westbrook,
like
he averaged 9 points in college at
right. That's
UCLA.
right. That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, and I think Bassie made a good point. Bassie's point to the whole thing was, hey, if I got the opportunity to play in the NBA, I would be this. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. And I feel like in the NBA, not so you it's like a half or a quarter% of a quarter of a percent of people that actually make it. But then there's a quarter of a percent of a quarter of a percent of a fucking quarter of a percent that gets to have longevity like Marbury,
Well,
Kimba,
you
Mark
got to understand,
Jackson.
Russ. It's sort of like in anything. It's the industry plants.
Right,
Now
right,
let me
of
tell you
course.
why. Let me
Yeah,
tell you why.
yeah,
And
of course.
we're actually going over where I was leading it with it, but I'm glad we're here because I might forget this. Now, the reason why I say it's industry plants is because it's obvious, Russ. These guys are, once they sort of believe in you, they give you the money, they have to play. It's
Yeah, it's
like
an
they have,
investment, yeah.
so,
It's an investment,
right.
of
And I was
course,
telling
of course.
my man this earlier. Can they explain 16 points in 8 minutes against the Warriors?
Yo,
You scored 16 points in 8 minutes, and they had Barbosa on you. That's one of my favorite defensive guards, Russ. He locks niggas down. I know he was old, but he got cooked in 8 minutes.
bro, like, but when I got to the league too, and this was my and this was my only I guess you could say like grievance when I came into the L. They just dropped some footage on me, right? So this footage footage that just dropped of me in college, of me hooping or whatever. Does anywhere in that footage do I look like Chris Paul or Mike Conley?
In the footage?
No. Yeah, right, in the footage that we all just seen out of college. The answer is no, right? So when I got to the Pelicans, they're telling me, you look at this playbook. We need you to run the show. We need you to be more of a point guard, this and that. And I'm like, I'm more Monta Ellis, Iverson, Lou Williams. I'm more of that style. I'm not Chris Paul. That's not what I do. And then when they traded me to Memphis, they go, hey, we want you to, be like Mike Conley. We want to kind of mold you into that. And I'm looking at Mike. Mike is very conservative. He has a 7-to-1 assist turnover ratio. Like, I'm like, that's just not me, and yeah, and you get but so many opportunities to stick around in the league, and that was that. But then my second coming was, hey, we want you to be more like Patrick Beverly. And I'm like, I don't just want to do that.
Oh, they want you to run around and annoy niggas?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I've always been a two-way player. So before I got to the L, I'm just like, I had a vision in my head of who I wanted to be at the professional level. And what they were saying just, it just wasn't me. And that's where I think.
In your head, who you had? This is a good question.
So I got drafted by the Sixers. So I'm automatically thinking Lou Williams and Allen Iverson. Easy. Done. I'm like, they understand 6-foot guards. I'm like, they're going to do right by me. They're going to take care of me. They get it. But then 30 minutes later, I'm with fucking Lil Wayne and them in New Orleans. I'm like, yo. But
Russ, as much as me and you be chilling and on the phone talking and, good vibes.
Good vibes, great vibes.
Even though we're going to go back, because we skipped over little things, we're going to go back to that. But how was it going from, how does that feel to know that you get traded in 30 minutes like that? I was upset too. I was at home watching this shit.
I was kind of,
nigga close to home. I'm out there.
Yeah, I was kind of facts. I had everybody calling me. I was gonna have it really, really lit. And then what happened was, like, I was already tight because you gotta think about it too, Shay. Like, in college, I'm a rock star, bro. I have my sophomore year, I had a horse named after me. Like, my sophomore year, I had a horse. And then Ridiculous was already trademarked. While I was in college. Yeah, I had a racehorse. I had a racehorse racing in college. And that's through Pitino. And then I had the name trademarked in college. So already in school, I was a brand for 3 years in school. So like, when I became a pro and got drafted, it was just, everything was just like a blur. But going to your point, like, I was really upset. Like, I left Philly, and with my college accomplishments, I thought that I would at least have an opportunity to go into the first round.
Right.
Because that's what I'm thinking. You cook everybody in college, you win championships, you get every single award you can imagine, you have all these rings, all the records, and you don't go first round. I have so many, but it's like, as far as championship, Final Four, we got 2, we got Sweet 16, but we got 2 Big East, 1 AAC, but then we won also the conference, so we got 2 of those. But it's like, we got mad jewelry.
You said like 8, 9, 10 rings?
Probably more. Like, it's probably more. Yeah, it's probably more.
But that's what I said. These niggas don't have rings. How they in these competitions? Okay, hold on. We gotta go back. We gotta go back. Because this leads up to all of this. The comments, they want to know, and me too. I pinned it at the bottom. Let's talk about the Kenny Smith and the Kenny Anderson record breaking.
Right.
How did that feel?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Kenny's was that meant a lot more. I was two Kennys, right? So Anderson's meant a lot more to me because I think highly of him. I think he's in my top 5 in New York history ever, and that so playing in his shadow was inspiring for me, and that's what kept me that always pushed me to get to next heights. And so when I broke his single season scoring record, that's how I knew it was serious. But I knew he was great because there was a game where I probably could have broke his single game scoring record, but we were up by like 30 or 35 points. And Coach Curran is such a good dude, man. Like I got so much respect for him because he coached me and both Kennys. He was like, I feel like an asshole, letting you break Kenny Anderson's single game record and we're up 50 points against the worst team in the league.
Right.
He was like, do that shit against St. Raymond's or Christ the King, I'll leave you in.
Now you gotta remember, this is what people don't understand too. When did you play varsity at Malloy?
I came my sophomore year, but I didn't start. Right, but I never started.
Exactly.
I didn't start.
Kenny played 4, and him and both Kenny played 4 years.
They played 4. They did 4.
That's what I'm saying.
They did 4.
I'm glad you would have played 4. First of all, nobody
did 4 years.
Beat your record.
Nah, not the single season. It's gonna be tough. That's 30.
Because the kids that they have coming in, it's like they got good, but none of them are scorers.
Yeah, I'm arguably one of the best scorers to ever come out of New York City, and that's at all 3 levels. Period. Period. And I think these are all the facts. Like, period. I think the numbers show it everywhere I've been. So I'm just not making it up. So 2 years to get Kenny record for 1 season, that was like dope. But obviously, Kenny won a lot of games at Malloy. That was the only thing I was missing.
Okay, here's a question. I don't know. I smoke a lot of bud, but I was outside. I got the same level of careerness, level of. We talking basketball right now?
Yeah.
Shake, baby. I was outside too. That's a fact. So I can stand and say this. Word of my mother. I can say this, and niggas know this. Would you put the money up right now? Me and you versus Cam and Sebastian Telfair?
Yeah, I'm active still. I'll put the bread up.
I think I can do it, my nigga.
Yeah.
I'll carry. A lot of weed too.
I'll carry.
Me and my nigga, he might try to take me on the box when I'm ready. You understand? I'll play ball.
I'll carry. Don't worry. I'll carry. I'm still playing.
You active right now. So I think we got that
duty. Yeah. I'm active duty for sure. We got him.
Nah, but Cam was balling though. Cam was definitely.
Oh, for
I
sure.
did the research on him.
For sure.
I gotta give it to him. He got one up on me. He got the footage from the Garden.
I
get it to Cam. He got more proof than me. Shape baby. Nah, shout out to Cam. No, I love Cam for that because Cam, he's keeping the talk alive on Main Street. This is why.
Absolutely.
My man, because I'm putting you up on the pedestal with them niggas, my nigga.
I mean, but honestly, for real talk, I think that is the conversation. Because like I was saying earlier, like what's the scale? Like what are y'all doing all this? What are y'all basing it off of? If y'all basing it off of influence, y'all basing it off of money, y'all basing it off of career, like professional longevity, like what is the basis off of? College? Because like what is it? Like I don't know. But at all levels, I was one of the best, and then at one of those levels, I was the best. 100%. So it's like, how do you want to? What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, and for y'all that have questions for Russ, there's a question button at the bottom. Let's get to it. Let's get everything out right now. Russ deserves this right now. Okay, so now, when after beating the Kenny Anderson record, did you feel like you deserved to? Did you ever want to go to Georgia Tech?
You know what? I never even had that in my head of going to a big time school because I had no offers. So I was just gonna like.
How the fuck do you have no offers, Russ?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I had no schools. Coming out of Malloy, I mean, we had little D2s or a low D1 letter, but it was no offer. Like it was no, we have a scholarship for you here. Like we had none of that. So after being on the road with the Gauchos, we had a good summer. We won Peace Jam, Memorial Day, National Showcase. After that, we told a lot of guys, you know, that we was going to prep school. So a lot of schools and a lot of prep schools was writing us. And that's when a lot of the interest kind of picked up. They were saying, yeah, you know, you go to prep school, we'll come check you out, we'll start to recruit you, yada, yada, yada. And then the next year, because you know, the year you go into prep school, you can play on the circuit. You know, you can still play on the AAU circuit again. So what I did was I got on the circuit, but this time, instead of just being a 120 pound, 25 pound scorer, I brought a 45-inch vertical with me,
Crazy.
and that was crazy. So I got a lot of schools and a lot of interest. I went to South Kent, and then from there things started to pick up.
That's crazy. Okay, so you got your first question. I actually have 3 of them in there, but we're gonna start with this one. They said after you left New York, what was the second best state that you felt like, yo, these guys could ball?
Oh, that's the second best state.
Yeah.
Damn. Honestly, wow, that's tough.
That is a crazy question.
Yeah, that's
Because niggas
tough.
nice everywhere
Niggas is
these days.
really nice. But I will say this. I will say this though. The the pros come from California and Indiana and Texas. Indiana, Texas, and California. The pros come from there.
Why?
I don't know. It's something in the water, man. Them guys are 6'6". They 6'4". They built heavy. Some guys are 6'9". But a lot of the pros come from there. I don't necessarily mean they're the best,
Right.
but I will say that the pros come from over that way. Now, as far as the best, like niggas were just nice. I'm gonna say Jersey, Chicago, and parts of Jersey, parts of Philly, parts of Chicago, and parts of Florida. Like I think those 4 got a lot of motherfuckers from there that got some shit with them. So I'm gonna say those 4. But the other 4 places, like parts of Cali, parts of Indiana, parts of Texas, and that Midwest, they got pros, man. All pros.
That's a fact. Okay. Now the second question is a little crazy. You can answer this how you want. I kind of agree with him. But the second question said he doesn't know if Kenny Anderson would be able to go because you have the new moves. He said, I watched him. He had old school moves. I understand that.
Right. They're saying like everything is dated.
Though, right? Is he ready really for them new step backs? They're
right.
like he
would have that too. But respectfully though, like you can't, like with anybody from New York, like I don't care what your name is. There's been no one that was able to guard me when I was playing. So there's no one that will be able to guard me in their time.
100%.
So it's no one was just ever able to guard me. Like so I think that I'm a scorer, you know.
Okay, let me ask you this then. He might be a little older than you. You might not know this, but I'm gonna throw a defensive guy out of New York City from the early 90s.
Right.
You ever heard of a guy that went to Minnesota? I think his name is Defensive Player of the Year, Eric.
That's
Can
my
Eric
trainer.
Harris? Yes. Can
That's
Eric
my
Harris
trainer.
have guarded you?
That's my trainer.
Okay.
That's the nigga that got me like bing, bing, bing.
Okay.
He's the one that got me. He's guarding me in high school.
Okay. So, a guy like him.
Yeah.
So damn, that's crazy.
He's guarding me in high school. That's who I worked out with.
That's my favorite defensive player ever in New York.
That's the
Could
nigga
he
who
have guarded
guards me. He's guarding me in high school.
Crazy.
That's a question you have to ask E. Harris.
I
know. E. Harris will tell you.
Yeah.
He's guarding me. I'm working out with him 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, 365 days a year. That's why niggas can't guard me, because this nigga is guarding me.
Okay, because I put up, this is crazy, because I put up, and this is the only reason why I stand by y'all, because I was there. A lot of these niggas that are stuck on the like the Marbury errors and even the Telfair errors and the Rafe errors. I don't know if they really watched basketball of high school and college like that after them. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know, because, and here's the thing too, even with Skip. Skip seen me as a shorty, and then Skip was working with the Timberwolves. You can ask him too. You can all fact check me. Skip was working with the Timberwolves when I was in there for training camp.
Right.
Him and John Lucas were assistant coaches.
That's the nigga Lucas, the
John
dude
Lucas.
that be doing the moves, right?
Yeah.
The
ball.
He was on the Bulls, right?
Yeah. No, he's cold. He cold. So when we were in Minnesota in the camp, I'm by far the best guard, but I'm doing all the scoring shit,
Right.
And that's not what the NBA wants to see. Skip and John had to pull me to the side a bunch of times, like, hey, yo, you gotta chill out. Like,
who?
Yo, Skip, Rafe, and John had to pull me aside, like, hey, you gotta chill out. Like, I know we know the cloth you're cut from, but this is not what they want to see. And I was just like, well,
I'm just playing my game.
This is how I play. I don't want to play if I can't play like that. Like, this is the way I play. I don't know. Like Skip couldn't figure it out, but I do think that with different eras and different classes, it's different perks. Like we had different things available to us that differentiated from what Kenny Anderson, Rafe, Mark, even Steph or Bassie may have had. Like things are always changing. The games are always evolving. There's always different guards. Like the guards out of New York in different classes are crazy. Like my favorite guard growing up was Irvin Walker. I used to go to Edgar Sosa games. I used to go watch Sosa play.
Love Irvin.
Like that. Those were niggas that I watched. Like so, and their games are hella different. And then Kim was in my backcourt when I was a shorty, and he got state championships. So it's like every guard is so different. But then going back, it's like Sham Guard's different from Speedy Claxton. Speedy Claxton is different from Omar Cook. Like Omar Cook is different from Eric Barkley. Like all these guards are different, and that's why like it's hard to really say like, oh, this person's better than that guy. That person's better than that guy. But what we do in New York is it's like, all right, we roll the ball out. Who got better offense? Who got better defense? We just gonna make it simple. And then what's been happening is people have been bringing up like accolades and stats and which is why I stay out of it, because I don't know where I fit in, because I know what I did, and I just but now it's like, yo, all my homies, they're like, yo, you gotta let everybody know what you did, and I'm like, well, all right, I guess this is why I'm chilling with you.
Nah, I feel you.
Word up, you know what I mean? Like word up.
In fact, I mean, yo, it's no different than the locks going in there and say, Puff, I'm not wearing a shiny suit.
Thanks.
Right or wrong, my nigga?
Thanks.
We done with the shiny suits. Shit, baby. So this is why this interview is epic, because like they don't understand, Russ. Like when we got to go. All right, my man. I see you. You want to ask you this question. Could a coach affect someone's the way they play and they playing time?
Absolutely. It depends on which level to which extent. I've been a victim, and I've also been a beneficiary. So I've been both. So I'm speaking strictly from I'm not taking no sides. I just think that if this is the game you want to play, if this is the profession you want to have, there's definitely going to be ups and downs like any other job or any other industry. And the key to it is to move like strategic. So one of the things that bothered me was when we were doing the NBA workouts, and I was trying to get a workout versus some guys that was on the draft boards or went different places in the draft, and I couldn't get a workout in.
They don't want you to expose them.
Nobody wanted me. I couldn't work out with nobody. So everyone turned me down. I don't know if it was the players or if it was the agents, but I'm pretty sure it was the agents, because I don't think the players know these things. The only thing that I knew was that when I seen somebody's name in there and my name got put on it, then the next day their name was taken off. And it's not just one name, it's a whole new workout. So you got 5 names on the workout, and then next thing you know, it's 4 different names. And it's just my name on the sheet. And that happened so much. So if I had to do it again next time, I probably would have pulled my name out too, and I'd have just chased everybody around the country to see where they was going to work out at. But me at the time, the way I was raised, from Pops, I'm like, whoever the fuck it is that's going to be in the workout with me is just going to get the business. You in the cage with me. I'm not in it with you. And so that's always my mentality. Like, even if I catch an L that day, like even if I wasn't at my best, my mentality, it was always, yo, you in here with me. I'm not in here with you. But can coaches or agents, affect the trajectory? The answer is hell yes. You see that a lot. Like, Lance is my favorite player to arguably come out of New York. I love Lance to death. And is Lance better than Bassie? Is Lance better than Marbury? Like, the nigga's 6'5". He does everything that Stephon Bassie does at 6'5". So, but it's like, did they ever say, here, Lance, here's the ball. I want you to do what our star player does. That never happened for Lance. I don't know why. And I could never figure that out. So I just think you can be a beneficiary, but you can also be the victim. And it just depends on the roll of the dice.
Nah, because you and Lance, y'all go way back from playing. I'm talking about maybe 9, 10U with Juice, 12U with Juice. Because I ain't gonna lie, I got a chance to even experience, the night that we went to Griffin's in New York City, and Lance was there with the Phantoms. It was like, Russ, this is when you first got.
Oh, yeah. Nah, Lance my dog, bro.
That was a night to remember.
That was a good night. Lance my dog, bro.
It's like, Russ is a household name.
Niggas
Put some fucking
me,
respect on my niggas'
people,
name.
People love me, bro. But it's also too, like, at the end of the day, though, we're all in the same industry, and we all play basketball, and we love good hoop, bro. Like, and people love good hoop. Like Terry Rozier is my dog, and
hell yeah.
And I'll do whatever for Rozier. Like, Rozier is my homie, and just when I see him and he see me when we out, and it's like, yo, I'm this is Russ. Like, when I was in Boston.
No, he looked up to you, Russ.
Yeah, no, like, that's my bro. Like, that's my bro.
I know that. You started the whole wave with the Louisville shit. That was the wave started that second year, man. That's when the wave started, B. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, for sure. It was definitely a wave started, but it was like, too, Louisville was lit too, because you had Sos that came there but before me. But I felt like too, even the way Sos and PK, the guys that was there before me, was getting off, there was still some kind of leash with Pitino, and I think Pitino will tell you too. It was like we're not gonna let Sos go all the way fully off. But I think with me, Pitino took the leash off, like because he had to. And when he took that leash off, I think it really made Louisville an interesting place for a lot of guards like myself, or kind of had that vision of the way I played. Because you look at Rozier's only 6'2", Donovan Mitchell 6'3". You know, then we had a bunch of other guards that come through there. We had Chris Jones, we had Kevin Weir, we had Trey Lewis came, but there's a bunch of other guards that went and pulled up. They're like, oh, Pitino's gonna let me go. We had wings that transferred in, Damian Lee. We had Jordan Nwora. But that became the place to go if you wanted to get let go. But I just think, like I was saying, everyone loves good hoop, and for me, when I go places, I feel comfortable because I know I always put on a show, and everywhere I went, and then everybody I played against that has some sort of professional stature or standard. I didn't only just have a good game. There was probably a game where it was a damn near a career high. Like it was, you know, a 40 ball or a 30 ball, or it was one of those nights. And I have enough of them. And but that's how I go out to perform. I don't just play the game. I always try to prove a point.
Facts.
And I think other hoopers could respect that. Like, I'm not just playing, I'm trying to kill you. You know, even if it don't work out that day, I might get subbed out for bugging the fuck out. You know, I might get subbed out for throwing too many turnovers, but I'm gonna try to give you everything I got every time.
Right. Now they asked another question. You got a lot of questions in here, Russ. They love you. They said, if you had to say who gave you the ability to score and the mentality to play Russ Smith style?
I'll for sure go with my pops on that, but then I'm gonna also say E. Harris. I think it was both a mix because with my pops was more so a defensive player. He took pride in defense, and he took pride in playing hard both ends of the floor. But E. Harris, you know, he played at Minnesota, backcourt with Bobby Jackson, you know, a little higher level. And but my pops and E. Harris, there's a lot of both of them in each other
Right.
as far as like mentality and toughness. So I think that part with playing defense, but also getting a basket, because I don't think both of them could score. So they were like, "Yo, try and score." So, you know, even at a young age, playing against my pops, like, try and get a basket.
Yeah.
E. Harris, you know, trying to make me go get a basket. That's the root. I think that's the root of it all. And then just playing random people one on one. Like, pops will have my bread, pops will have my money. It'll be money to eat, and it'll be like, all right, yo, if you don't beat him one on one, he gonna get your money, you know. And we playing. I'm 9 years old playing 12-year-olds one on one for bread. I'm 8 years old playing 13-year-olds for bread one on one. So I really grew up just fighting for my damn life
That's fact.
every
Now,
time.
but niggas don't understand. That's why I said that this interview is crazy, because, you know, even like when you look at the John Morans, you look at the Bulls, like y'all niggas was the first niggas doing that. The father
Yeah.
you know, like from like, you know, you see you in the tournaments,
Easy,
you know, working out, Gaucho
easy,
gym, o'clock in the morning.
easy.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
That's a
Of
fact.
course, of course, of course, and it was tough too, because you know the NBA is like the NBA and college, that world is like a fraternity, and it's like a secret society, right? You got to be in to be in. You got to know somebody to really get in. Me and Pops really got this shit from the mud. Like it was no favor, no anything. Somebody took a risk and was just like, yeah, we'll give Russ an offer, even though they knew that I had no schools. It was just like, fuck it, we'll offer you Russ, an extra body for practice. We don't
Yeah.
got nobody coming in this year. And it just ended up working out, you know, and that's sometimes the way the cookie crumbles.
Now, coming up to get to Louisville, where is Kyrie Irving in the mix of all of this? When, you know, when you're coming up high school, 8th grade, 9th grade, because people don't really talk about Kyrie in the coming up days. I didn't hear about Kyrie probably until he was a senior playing McDonald's.
Nah, so with Kyrie's situation, it was I knew Kyrie very well because I used to play against him when he was in Queensbridge, and when he was younger, he played for a lot of bullshit teams, a lot of trash teams, and with
Why?
Kyrie.
Was he nice
uh,
though?
Kyrie, Kyrie wasn't nice at a young age, and I'll tell
What?
him this. Like he was not nice. He was not good at a young age. But
Yeah.
this is why I love him so much because vividly every fucking year he got so much better, like so much better. Like I've never seen a guard add something so I've never seen the improvement so volatile each year, starting out from when he was 11 or 12 to every year adding something to his game. So when he was younger, he was, a little chubby, slow, can always shoot the ball, but that was it. And then 12 years old, started to slim down. Then 13 or 14 years old, started to get taller. Then 15 years old, nigga added some handle. Nigga 16 years old, nigga added a left hand. He was able to go past you and finish.
Yeah.
17 years old, he's jumping off the right leg. He's punching shit.
Yeah.
And it was every single year, like he was just adding on to his game. But then obviously he was playing, like I was saying, for a lot of bullshit
Yeah.
teams that were bad. We would beat Kyrie's team by 20, 15, 30 sometimes, but he would always have a 20 ball or a 30 ball. He
Right.
was always able to play. And I think that's important too at a young age because I grew up similar. I was able to play.
I mean,
So
you
my
was running with me.
yeah, the
Like you wanted
creativity,
to
right.
you didn't mind about winning or losing. Long as you
Right.
get 40, work on your
Right.
game, you was fine.
Right. I was fine. Right. And I feel like that's what Kyrie did when he was playing with a lot of those teams. He was able to maximize on his creativity and fucking experiment on everybody. So when he got to St. Pat's, his game was already finished. The work has been put in. The work is done. Like this nigga's I got left hand, I got right hand. I'm 6'3". I can shoot. I can jump out the gym. I can pass. I can split double teams. I can split triple teams. I can do all this tricky shit. And I'm a pro guard. So where Kyrie fits into all this, by the time I got to when I was in Louisville, he was a freshman at Duke, but nigga played 3 games and slid.
I know.
So
Right?
yeah,
I never got a chance to see him in college.
not in
Right.
college, not at all. But
Now, the reason I asked you that was, let me get this bomb. There's a game that no one knows about unless you were there because the gym only holds 50 to 60 people.
right,
CYP.
right.
That was the only time. I even missed that. I even missed that night. Because remember, I was in my feelings
Yeah.
because y'all beat us.
We put
The night before.
yeah.
I was mad.
Because
He was
I
like,
had
"Shay,
to
you
play
going
with
to the
them.
gym?" I said, "Nah, I'm going to stay home and play 2K.
Yeah.
I'm chilling." Y'all beat us in the gym. I was mad. Get out of the bomb. But I even missed that game. We're
Word
talking about
up.
a gym that's like the gym is actually so small that it's like the size of maybe half of a regular sized gym.
Yeah, it's really small.
How was that matchup that day, Russ?
Wow.
With the Kyrie Irving matchup? Because I think y'all
what?
both finished with like 40 apiece or something like that, right?
Yeah. It was definitely one of those games where the numbers was hella high. But I mean, you talk about a nigga who was just dribbling all around the gym and shit, like and then shooting from the other side.
That's what he was doing.
The game,
I told you I missed it. I was so mad. I didn't even know he was playing, my nigga. Because it's not like you were talking about it the night before.
No, because for me, playing against Kyrie is regular. It's just like it's like another day at the office. Like
Crazy.
I would just because I played against him so many times. Like it's like it was a time I remember. We was with the Gauchos. We played Kyrie and them in round ball, and one of the coaches was yelling at me, get out, like that's Kyrie, and I'm like, all right. But like that, I've played against him so many times. I'm just like in my head, I'm just like, oh, all right, like like it was always it was always just regular to me because I was always playing against motherfuckers.
Facts.
And so when we played in CYP, it was obviously lit because this nigga was the top guard at the time out of Jersey. So and he's putting on everywhere. He has all of these fucking stars and he's ranked and everything. And I'm just me, a nigga that just get buckets.
Nah, you can't get
You
from
know what I
there.
mean?
You was a
But
Jordan
that's
All-Star at that time. You was Jordan All-Star at that time, Russ.
regional.
Got you.
Regional.
Got you. I let
Granted,
you
I got
motherfucker. You
nah.
keeping it real. You
I
keeping
just
it
want,
real.
yeah, because I can't
You can't
because
count
that's
the numbers of the numbers.
yeah, it is what you gonna see it. You gonna see if you got the internet. You gonna see if I'm lying or not.
Right.
But I did get MVP though in the regional. I wasn't even supposed to play in the game. That's the crazy part. So that always happens that way. It's funny. I wasn't even supposed to be in that game, and Keith Spellman hurt his back, so he couldn't play. Keith Spellman hurt his back, so he couldn't play, and he needed a replacement. So they was like, "Fuck it, just call Russ." And Russ came and got MVP.
That's great.
Is everybody was in that game?
That's
Everybody.
Great. Now on that year, who was in that game? I told you, Russ, I missed it. Who was on
Was it
that day? Because when
there
you
was
came
niggas on that
day,
court.
we
There
lost.
was
Y'all lost,
niggas
right?
on that court.
Yo,
Nah, we won. We beat
won, that's
whoever we
right.
beat. It was New York versus like
Who got MVP?
Connecticut. Me.
That's right.
Me.
Give that a
I had 30.
bomb, son. Yo, but yo,
30.
that's crazy though. You got who's on the court though?
Fuck. I know for sure on our team it was Chaz Williams, Amari Lawrence, Sean Johnson, Keith Spellman, but he was hurt. Then we had James Stooks. That's when he was at Rice.
Shout out to James.
Trev at Loveland. But on the other side, I think it was Tamir Jackson, Dominic Cheeks,
Crazy.
Paris Horn. What the fuck? What was? They had a squad. Brandon Trish was on the other side. Damn. I can't remember who was on the other side, but they had a crew though. They had a crew. It was legit. It was a legit game. Like it was legit. All these motherfuckers had offers, schools, and everything I didn't have. So it was crazy.
That's what I mean. So to come out MVP with all those, like all those guys, we talking about Villanova, because I've heard a couple names they were doing with the Villanova, the Cheeks.
Yeah.
We going to.
Yeah.
Was you just going out there playing your regular game, or you just
right.
like
nah, fucking
I'm
right.
out niggas.
You in the cage with me. I'm not on the court with you. That's how I think. I'm like, you ain't here with me, bro. Like I'm not out here with you.
Now, what was you and Kyrie's conversation that day after that game? Because I mean, y'all boys, y'all been knowing each other for a long time.
Nah, it's always just love, like a dap and keep it pushing, or a hug and keep it pushing. But real talk, like Kyrie is he was always on another level, and then at that point, and then there's other players that are like that, like Lance, Kyrie, and then Kimba ended up getting to that point when he became like a pro, because you don't see 5'10" guards with the longevity as a pro that Kimba has, so you got to throw him in that kind of top tier
100%.
conversation. And so like, but from a young age though, not like super young, but like age 16-ish or whatever, like Kyrie was playing a different game than everybody else was playing. Yeah. Similar to what Bassie was saying, like Bassie was like, I knew I was going to the NBA. Like that was the game Kyrie was playing. And so for me, like it was always more so like, I see you, I respect what you're doing, this and that, and just keeping it pushing, because he's playing a different game that I was playing. And those are just the facts. I'm trying to get a school, and he's trying to figure out where he's getting drafted at 17.
Because Mark Jackson feels how you feel, kind of.
Right.
He's like, he's kind of sick of, how can Mark not be in these conversations?
No, how can he not?
You know what I mean?
This is
a conversation I feel like you can't really have. Like Sebastian can't say these things. He just because they're going by the level of successness of of the machine and the fucking industry plant.
But also too, you're going at the level of the level. Like you're going like
I think
what's the highest
once
the
you make
highest
the league, you're on that level.
right
Bottom
for sure. And I think
line.
honestly, I think it's black and white too. I think it's black and white. I think it's black and white. I think it's if you're not a guy in the league that's, you know, been given the ball to rock out like how Marbury was. Like Marbury was rocking the fuck out. Like, you
Facts.
know, you can't take nothing from him.
Nothing.
Kimber was rocking the fuck out. And then also if it's either that and then you couple that with the people who got longevity, like Lance got longevity in the L. Kyle O'Quinn been in the league forever. Taj Gibson been in the league forever. Like Tobias Harris is in the league forever. So that plays a part in that. But then there's also guys that had stints in the league.
Right.
Like I had a stint. Kilpatrick had a stint.
But you
Like
can't take
Bassie
out
had a
the equation,
stint.
though. That's what I'm
But
saying.
we're not, but like, and that's the thing. Like, you're not going to take us out the equation, but that does matter. You know, it does matter to an extent because we didn't have the same opportunity, but we were all there. You know, like it's still like we were on the floor. One person was able to get a little bit further. Reasons why, nobody knows. But here's also the scale. The scale is too that in your professional career, okay, you had a stint in the league. What else did you do? You know, what else did you do? Like, I got a record in
Yeah.
the G League. I led the G League in
That
scoring and
nobody.
assists. That's done.
Nobody.
I have games under my belt that are crazy. I have a world scoring record. Like I averaged the most points in professional sports history.
And the game,
61 points a game.
how much?
Yeah, it's 61 points a game. Like that's never being broken. You feel me?
Yo, Russ. Yo, hold on. How the fuck you average 61 points a game, my nigga?
I'm not gonna lie, and this is the thing. This is why I like to talk. I like to let everybody else talk about it that was in the league that I was in because they can vouch. Like, yeah, it's a league you can average 30 in. It's a league you can average 40 in. Shit, you can probably average 50 in there. But I did 60. That was it.
Yo,
That's it. You know,
time, right?
82. 82.
82.
But
He said, nah, he fixed that. He said, nah, 82.
82.
I fixed that. Get out of bomb. Shit, baby.
Dog. But yeah, but like as pros, like you wherever you played at, like, you know, what's your track record? Like I have a good track record. I'm a scorer. I stick to my you know, my reputation precedes itself. Like I'm 20 a game everywhere. Puerto Rico, 20 something a game. Now, like so.
Can you help a team right now, Russ? Real facts.
Easily. No,
right?
Easily. Like there's no if I go on a team, I'm probably the like just skill wise, pound for pound, like I'm arguably one of the better players. But my skill set, I have a specific set of skills and I can do a lot of things, but I love to do two things in particular, which is score and play make and defend. So
if you're not looking for that relationship, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Nothing I can do right now until I'm ready for it. Maybe even I'm 35 or 3 or 4 years from now, where it's like, all right, I'll go back.
When you're 35, you can come to play defense.
36. Yeah, I got
take 2 shots a game.
Yeah, I'll coach the young fellas. Nah, I'll coach the young fellas up, you know. But now I'm trying to. I want to get off.
Yeah, no, but listen, man. All right, cause that's my whole point. And I was telling niggas like, yo, look, I had a conversation with my man. I was telling him, I was like, bro, listen, if you give Russ 25, 30 minutes a game in the NBA, I swear to God, even in 2016,
I'll probably get 6 man of the year.
Easy.
Nah, like I would probably get 6 man of the year, and I don't want to like but it's just the way because the league is it's scoring scale. I'm a scorer, so this isn't about this isn't like I'm not saying like let's say if like let's say if this is a pass first point guard talk, like like it's a different game. Like I'm playing a completely different game. Like I'm a scorer. So if we're going back and forth, if there's fucking 200 possessions, and what do you think is gonna happen if I play 30 minutes a game with the ball? Like, I have a chance of averaging 15 a game. That's just the way it is. And there's no secret the NBA is the worst defensive league, and as far as the top tier leagues go,
So
like
you know you're
NBA is one of the worst
gonna
defensive
if
leagues.
play no
Yeah, I know I'm a scorer. There's no defense in that league. So, but until the playoffs, and then when there's playoffs, and I think things, people level up, and
There's
it's
more
a different game.
strategy,
Yeah,
more of taking
yeah, it's a different game in the
ISOs.
playoffs.
You
Right,
get more of the people like examining shit that you did all year to try to win. Of course,
right,
that's
right.
playoff basketball is different in period.
Right,
You know what
but
I mean?
but as far as regular season goes, you throw me out there for 25, 30 minutes and give me the ball, of course, like of course. But like I was saying, I don't want to sound like a person that's like, oh, if I had the opportunity. No, like that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I'm completely fine with going somewhere else, playing in China,
Yeah,
playing in Italy, playing wherever the fuck when they give me the ball and I could just do what I want to do here.
and money's
Yeah.
money. But okay, so um, when it, I'm glad you said that because why you don't? A lot of people ask me this, and I tell them all the time. I was like, once you get to a certain level, it's kind of they want to know why they don't see you outside as much in the summertime. And I say, come on, my nigga,
I run a
couple months,
million dollar liquor
that's
company.
what your fucking that's like don't it make
Yeah, like I run, besides the fact that that we're doing, that I'm running a liquor company, I'm actually working on my game. And I'm in Kentucky and I have everything situated there. I get to go to the U of L facilities. They take care of me at my school. They're great. Everybody top of the line, the AD, to even all the programs from the volleyball, lacrosse. They all love me. So I get my work. I got a gym available 24/7. And do I play? I've had some injuries, so I've tried to do some maintenance, but for the most part, like what I've done outside before I got to Louisville, I don't want to say it was enough, but it was too much. Like I was giving y'all 7 games, 8 games a day. I see Chaz in here. This is one of the comments that showed up. Chaz Williams, he's one of those guys.
oh
We
yeah,
we
definitely.
worked out together. Like he knows. He knows. My days used to start at 6 in the morning and wouldn't end till whenever the fuck it ended. My other boy, I think Puda, he might be in here, he might not. Like we would play basketball till 5, 6 in the morning, bro. Like
Right.
so when y'all ask for me to come outside and do things, like it just has to be like what am I playing for? Like ask like when I went to Minnesota I went to a foundation dinner for Gorgie Dang. He launched his foundation, so I went to support him. Jelly, little Isaiah Washington, this is when he was in school. I
Fact,
wanted to visit. His coach was Rick Pitino's son.
hundred
So I
percent.
was like, oh, I'll knock out two birds with one stone. And when I go over there, Jelly like, yo, I want to hoop. Jelly like, I want to play you. Like I'm like, oh shit, it's all right. If this is that, okay. I'm coming off surgery, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get my shoes, bro. Like I got you. I'm gonna give you all the bump you want to get. You feel me? And that's the kind of nigga I am. Like I'm just like, yo, I love hoop. And if I'm outside and if I'm near, like, nah, we gonna bump for the love of it. But for me, like it's just like, yo, I'll come back outside, but it's like I just I, I'm so busy. But when I do pop out, it's lit. Like last summer, I popped out for D'Angelo Russell camp,
Mhm.
and they had all the pros there and shit.
You
And
killed them.
Obi, nah, yeah, I mean it was crazy. Like but that's my kind of
Yeah.
environment. Like the footage is out there. The footage is out there.
He said the footage is out there.
Yeah.
Who was in this camp?
Nah, it's D'Lo, it's Devin Booker, it's
What?
Obi, it's Torian Prince, it's James
Oh,
Johnson, it's
they got
man,
the
it's lit.
there.
Peyton, everybody pros, it's all
So you didn't
pros.
tell
But
me
in
one time you only go to the killer camps.
Not even like that was the first time I've ever just came outside. The last time before that I came outside, it was when
I was
it
talking
was Victor
outside.
Oladipo.
Dykeman, Rucker.
Ah,
Yeah, I was
okay. So
talking like
like
that.
nah, like outside boys, outside. I
Yeah,
came
because you know
outside,
what?
man. You gonna
You
give
think
me a
on TV, Russ, they just want to see you outside. It's like a fanship. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. Everywhere I go, niggas know I fuck with y'all. Niggas, especially if they see me with this chain on. Yo. Speaking of one of them, Joel Santana, brother. He
yeah.
said, yo, Quinn was like, yo, Shay, what's good? We have Russ outside, pop out with
I
us.
know,
Let's go, gay. Like,
I
I
know.
talked to him,
I
but
owe them.
outside is
I do owe
nasty
them.
work. You
Outside
know
is
what I
nasty work
mean?
because you gonna have me. You gonna like. I forgot who I was talking about. Like you don't want to be on a like. You want a island, bro, with all that room. Like
That's
that's crazy, bro. Like
too many buckets out there for them,
that's
right?
because it's unrealistic to me because I get doubled and triple teamed. So when I'm hooping, it's so unrealistic. Like it's like wow,
Can you get 80 points indictment if you wanted to? With no
absolutely. It's like
problem.
no problem at all. I would just have to lock in.
Shape baby.
But Shay, you're making it seem like it's something that's so
That
crazy,
nigga
but it's
said
not.
80 with no problem. Yeah, you're right. Because you got to think about it. If you could get 65
I've
in D League with
like,
niggas
and
trying to get a salary,
bro,
they trying to get paid in there playing
bro,
defense.
I love the people that I came up with. Like, I love all of my brothers. Like, we all play who we came from the same cloth. But like, I'm pretty sure, like Mike Buff and Mike Poole and had 50 and 60
Easy.
balls in Dykeman. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Easy. So and I'm pretty sure somebody from the block that had a
Yeah.
50 ball up there. So yeah, so you asking me to
For
go
you, a
up there?
professional nigga to get
I'm
80
a
is
prof
nothing.
I'm a 6'1" guard that only gets paid to score. Like think about that, like for a second. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all the other shit that you do, your point guard skills, your passing skills, your defensive skills. Like, we want to sign you because we know you can score and you're 6'1".
Right.
Like, so
Well,
you're asking me to,
that's what I was trying to say when I heard the shit with Cameron and them. Like, even like back over the Corona. Let me give him a bomb too. Shout out to my man Truck Bryant.
facts.
100%. That's my nigga right there.
Yeah,
Now, Truck during the Corona, he had it lit in there. And they had you and Lou Williams one-on-one.
right,
Now,
right.
they're not going to put a nigga up against Lou Williams, one of the best scorers in the NBA that they had,
Amazing, bro.
if you wasn't that nigga.
Yeah, I mean, every nigga from, because here's how it goes. You'll throw a name out there, a nigga might resend it. Niggas, people up there acting cute. Like, I might act cute. Niggas up there like, whatever. But what that was, Chuck asked me like, yo, who, because he's trying to get a reaction out of
Right.
me because all my friends know that I'm not confrontational. So he always tries to get a reaction out of me. So he's like, yo, all right, so who would you want to play one-on-one? I was like, man, so I caught Marbury in China on the tail end of his career.
You want to
Like,
play
so
Marbury?
that no, I did when I was a shorty,
Yeah.
but I ended up playing against him in China.
Hold on.
So I
I
was
thought you
like,
off real quick. I'm going to get right back to that. But I might forget real fast. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but you remember the barbershop up when you used to come up here, All-Star Cuts?
yeah.
Okay. When I used to bring you in there, one day I brought you in there. I don't know if you remember. Remember Marbury was getting a cut in there? And
Yeah.
y'all was talking
Yeah.
or whatever. And of course, little big Russ son. So I seen him again, maybe like a week later, getting a haircut. And I said, yo, let me ask you something. You think little Russ going to the league? He said, guaranteed.
Nah,
He
Steph,
knew you was going to the
bro,
NBA,
Steph,
man. So that's what I
bro,
mean. You
yeah,
got to be in these conversations.
easily.
He told me
Nah,
that you
facts.
was going to
Steph, no,
the
bro.
NBA when you was 14.
Steph,
Damn.
no. Steph was upset. I went to China so early, man, and Steph was very upset. Like,
How was he
when
feeling with Steph? Because you got a chance to rock with Steph in China a lot, right?
nah, yeah, me and Steph went out to dinner a bunch of times, bro. He took me out. He actually was gonna, think about putting me on his team, but he was like, it wasn't gonna be the right fit, Facts,
The best
facts.
bourbon out there right now,
Elect
y'all. Tonight sponsored by Mr. and Mrs.
The
Get
legend.
orders in and don't be cheap. These shits is $400, right? $350. Yeah, get the money.
What? Oh, the black label. Yeah, the black label. The black label.
Black label. I got the whole.
Yeah.
Come on, my nigga. I got the black label.
Yeah,
Yes,
black
sir.
label 4 and change.
And
Yeah,
my shit on it.
yeah, facts. Yeah, you got a 60. That's a $60 bottle, the $400 bottle. Facts.
Come on, don't be cheap. Spend that money. That shit tastes good. No headaches.
So, word to my mother.
So let's go back to the Marbury.
Yeah, so Steph, I mean, I got a chance to really chill with him and just chop it up with him and basically just show my appreciation for everything that he did for me when I was a kid. You know, he had the Marbury camp. He was picking kids up from all different parts of Brooklyn, having us go to the Poconos. I thought that was all dope. But I played against him in China though. He was 40. Like Marbury was, that was his last season.
Wait a minute. No! You never told me. Hold on. You got a chance to play Marbury?
But you said what?
You got a chance to play Marbury?
Yes, bro. That shit was nostalgic.
And what
I didn't. It went as you can imagine. I'm hungry as hell, bro. I'm hungry.
You was trying to cook him?
Yeah. Oh man. But like
Marbury, he knew it too.
Yeah, he knew it.
He doesn't
I saw it in his face. I saw it in his face. He was like, damn, I wish I was like 10 years, even 5 years younger. Like just 6 years younger. Cause dog, I'm picking him up full court, bro. I'm trying to show him that I'm cold. Like
yo, what? You picking him up full court press?
I'm 40. This nigga's 40 years old, bro. 40-something years old. I'm like, bro, I gotta show you everything I got. So Steph was one of them. Then I got a chance to hoop with Baron Davis. But I caught Baron Davis at the tail end of his career. He was with me in the G League. I'm trying to tear Baron Davis up every fucking day, dog. You can imagine. B. Davis is my dog too. Like if I'm in LA, whatever it is, if he got an event, you know, I'll call him or he'll call me. Yo, Russ, come through, bro. You know I want to see you, bro. Like, no, I want to see you, baby boy. Like, come through.
Oh no, you had a great time, man. It was you, Nate Robinson.
That's another G League kid. Yeah. So that's another part. Like, so then that was the 1 year with Baron Davis. The other year I had Nate Robb. So
what was that like, Nate Robinson?
Nate cool as hell, bro. Nate cool as hell, dog. Like coolest nigga ever. You know I'm trying to tear him up every day in practice. Like, like for sure. But all
Did
of
he
these
have
niggas
bounce still when you was balling with him?
Yeah, he had a little bit, but not the kryptonite bounce.
Not the kryptonite.
but he had a little something. He had something. But he had game, bro. He had so much game.
That's what I'm saying. Nigga, you play with legends. Like I feel like your name has to be in these conversations.
No, yeah, for sure. But that's why, like, going to your point too, like going back to the Lou Will situation. He was one of those guys that, you know, I had on the list. Like, I'm like, oh, I get to cross this out, like, and say that I hooped with him or hooped against him. You know, I had but so many. So that's what it was. And that was that.
Yes. So do you have a now list?
A now list.
Like, do you still have lists? Like, are you still making lists? Like, you know, as you get older, you know, of course they know you that nigga getting all this money out there. On 100.
Nah, I'm now chasing. I'm trying to chase Hove now. I'm trying to chase a lot of these liquor companies now. So I think I already have the people I've collected already. That's done. Yeah, it's kind of done. Because Lou Will is finished, Iverson is finished, and it is all done. I've played against all of the guys that I felt like was super nice.
You say you wanted to play Iverson 1-on-1?
Hell fucking yeah. I wanted to check them all. Yeah. That's my deal. Okay. I wanted to see.
Now here's a question for you, Russ, and I need an honest answer. Do you feel you could have been Iverson?
Yeah, that was what I was shooting for. You look at all of my highlights from college and all my tapes, Iverson, Monta Ellis, and Lou Will, those were the guys that I felt like I wanted to be like. But as you can see, even now, like Lou Will and Iverson, that's the last of a dying breed. That's it. There's no more.
There's no more.
That's
more. Now, are you watching what's going on out there with these kids and the trainers? Do you? Katone saying it's a lot of fake moves out here, right?
Right.
My brother said there's a lot of fake, like all the trainer moves. Like these are like you know the triple step back threes. Like I see you got that in your game too, though.
Nah, of course,
You know what I mean?
but it's my game is different. It's like you know what I like to compare it to? I don't know if you watch. I'm a big like Marvel and
Of
DC and comic book person.
course.
I like quotes and poetry and shit. So when Batman was getting ready to come back outside, right? And this motherfucker Bane was running around the city. Alfred is trying to say, hey, yo, you can't just get back out there and go fight Bane because look how he moving. Look at his training. Look at the force. Look at his strength. Look at how he's moving.
Right.
And I feel like with a lot of these guys, they just go out there and they just play from moves that they may have worked on once or twice in the gym, you know, or moves they have worked on maybe 2 or 3 times a week. These niggas ain't playing 7 games in a day. These niggas ain't running stairs twice a day. They not doing workouts playing one-on-one.
Step back drill moves.
They just doing drills, and drills don't it doesn't initiate any twitch fibers on instinct.
Right.
So you can't coach instinct, you know, you can't coach you can't teach instinct, you can't teach reaction. Like you could do all the fucking drills you want. You're gonna get away with a drill move on somebody that know what the fuck they doing one time, but then after that, that's gonna be your final move.
Yeah,
I'm clocking you. Yeah, I know you're stepping back. I know you have a pound dribble side step.
Yeah.
I know that all that shit is trash. I know that.
Side step.
I know that. So for me, I think that in the era where you see Iversons, you see Lou Wills, you see even Kyrie's, you see Kimba's. There's not many niggas that you can like niggas like that you can't anticipate, bro. Like niggas are really they really play basketball.
Now that's another nigga right here. That Isaiah Whitehead.
Oh no,
that's
like he's
another nigga right here. I felt his pain.
It's tough.
I felt his pain. He said he got a couple of rings. Why his name don't come up? I'm from Coney Island too.
Yeah,
that's why I said a lot of these names was the niggas that rock with each other, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's an extremely hard conversation to have, and then with Whitehead, like it's crazy because when you talk about players from Brooklyn, I would say, you know, a bulk of them, they're all from Coney Island. So his name could get watered down in that conversation, but not in a fucking bad way. Like, because if you're comparing Whitehead to Lance, Bass, Steph, like this nigga done what they've done, maybe in a different way, you know, but he's done what they've done. Like he's, you know, was going to the league out of high school. He could have went. You know, he went to Seton Hall, put on. Like it's he went to the league. Like he's performing overseas. So there's a lot of conversations to be had. But it's just but it's like what's the scale? What's the scale? That's what I want to know. Like what's the scale? Like that's what I said. Like what's the parameters? What's the scale? Like how do we figure out?
I didn't know what the scale was with the because I can't lie. Like I said, I love Mason Cam. That is what it is for them sparking up this conversation. Because this needed to be done at some point.
No,
I feel like you can't have this conversation, Russ. Y'all all did something separately. Like niggas, like what takes you out of the equation when the niggas that you're riding, you broke their records. You feel me?
And everybody that went to nobody had a better college career than me from New York.
Exactly. You just said more than 10, 12 rings.
Yeah,
I saw your
like
father
there's no, and that's
all on one hand like this. And
I have so many, and those are just rings. Those aren't even awards. Like we have so many plaques and awards. Like we won Ken Palm 3 times. We won Wooden Awards. We were finalists for the National Coaches Associations poll. Like I have All Americans multiple times. And like I was saying before, like I only a lot of these guys, like you get, for example, like got the Trey Burks, you got the Shabazz Napiers, you have the Victor Oladipos. Those guys all played 40 minutes and
That's
37 minutes at their school.
and the
I
number only like 12, 13 a
not
game.
oh
I
yeah,
seen
or
it.
18 a game.
I,
I only played 27 minutes a game
yeah,
in college. At most 26 maybe or 28.
yeah.
But the game was fucking over by halftime
Yo,
with 10 minutes left in the
bro, y'all was
game.
number 1 in the country
Nigga,
every
we
year. That's a fact.
blowing niggas out. So I'm saying like imagine if I would have played 10 more minutes. Like, in school. Like it's a different, like so like my whole in college I still did what I did, but it's so many ways you can go about it. So
Right.
many different ways you could go about it. But I do feel like you got there's some guys that are just locked, like for me, in my opinion.
That's crazy. Now, have you ever spoke to Kenny Anderson or
Of
Kenny
course.
Smith about, like, when you broke the records, did they reach out to you?
Kenny did. I spoke to Kenny all the time. Anderson,
Right.
but Kenny Smith, not really. Like we have me and Jet's relationship is more so like on site. So if I see him, we'll dap each other up. We'll show each other respect and everything. Like we went to the alma mater. We'll pop out shit. Malloy
Facts.
boys, it's lit. But Kenny, Jet is a different player than I am. Like Jet is
Yeah.
a shooter. Jet is a guy that runs the floor. He'll finish at the rim. He's a good system player. He's a much different player than I am. Kenny and I don't even think we can what's the comparison?
Like fucked up.
Yeah.
And this is fucked up. This is so foul. And this is the craziest shit. I know they put Kenny Smith before you. I know it. But
they probably would, and they would do that. They would do that. They would do that based off.
Like you,
they
Russ.
would do that based off of the success he had with
but
Houston.
That's why we can't do this game. We can't
That's
play
a game.
This game.
That's a rough game to play.
Ahead of Big L.
Yeah.
Can't do it, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do it, son. And that's what's happening here. They're putting the niggas that's, I guess, that got more commercials in these categories.
Yeah.
Than the actual,
right. Like Whitehead made a good. Facts. Whitehead made a good point too. Like I never chased the record. The shit just happened, and I never thought we'd even be having this conversation. So this is a surprise to me. So like when we talking about shit like this, like I never was worried about being the craziest high school nigga. I'm like, because I knew what had to come with it. Like you had to win mad state championships, you had to win mad chips, like you had to do mad shit. Like,
who won them all?
Matter of fact, fuck what Bassie did, fuck what Lance did, fuck what Marbury did, fuck what like Lamar Odom, everybody else did. Johnny Flynn, Kyle McElharney, Wally Zerbiak, them niggas are from New York too.
I know.
Like before Lance broke Lance broke, I think, Kyle McElharney's record or somebody like that record. That was the top scoring. He had 3,000 points in high school.
That's crazy.
Like it was 2 white boys leading high school in scoring. That was top 5 at 3,000 points in high school basketball.
Right.
So especially in New York. So it's like high school basketball is such like that level that and that's how I feel. Like that's the lowest level you can have to base your argument on, because everybody was cold in high school. The last person on the bench in the league was cold in high school.
Facts.
So we can't talk about high school. I don't want to talk about high school. If I cared about high school, I would have went to Rice. I would have went to somewhere else, but I cared about just getting off and being able to play.
100%.
Like I wanted to go to Lincoln, but I wasn't gonna play.
Right.
So I would have went to Lincoln if I was gonna play. But if I cared about chips and shit, it's a different. I'm at a whole different school.
Yeah. Now, and I need an honest answer, Russ. where do you put yourself?
New York?
Yeah.
Well, like, off the top, god damn, off the top, I, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, I don't know where, but I think it's for sure, I think it's for sure, top 20.
I,
I think I could squeeze in there. I think I could squeeze in there.
well, you know, the reason I
don't know what it depends on, but I just feel like
you're
top
top 20 in scoring.
Oh, in scoring,
You gotta be top
I think I'm
3.
top 5.
Top
Yeah,
3,
3. Yeah,
my nigga.
yeah, for
And
scoring.
I put you up there with, like, I would have to say, like, Charles Jones, you, those type of niggas. Because those were guys that just offense, like, everybody was good, but niggas that get buckets.
Offense, damn, but like Sylvan was a basket. I mean, Whitehead, a basket. Keith Spellman, a basket. Lynch,
it's
a
hard,
basket.
Momo
hard. Jones, a basket. So I don't know where, but I look at high school being the lowest level of basketball, but it's very inspirational. There's a lot of good that comes out of being a great high school player and being on a great high school team. But I'm like just from a whole body of work, my college career, as far as college goes, I don't think no one in New York, Kemba comes close. He got a chip and he put on his junior year. But for 3 years, I was the face of college basketball.
Hell yeah.
So I don't. So whatever level whatever that means, that goes for something. And then as a pro, we spoke about that. So like, there's guys that were that had longevity. There's people that then made all-star teams and shit. And I'm not taking nothing away from them. And that's where I feel like I'm somewhere in there. But from a strictly career standpoint and what I'm doing now, my record skill standpoint, like I like myself in that conversation because I think 20, 25 people is a lot of people from New York, and I like myself in that conversation amongst the top 20, 25. I don't think there's a problem with that because like I see no problem with that.
100%. Nah, I agree. It's different. I think it's just different levels.
Because
yeah, man.
Was like because we got like think about it, like what's your top 5 out of New York? Who's your top 5?
It's tough, man. Nigga.
Right.
Because you know why? I'm one of my father's good friends. I gotta put him in there. Tiny Archibald.
Right.
Bob Cousy. Come on, my nigga. Nigga saying Bob Cousy ass because he got to shoot under the legs on free throws.
I can't jack
Bob Cousy got 10 rings.
But Bob Cousy got 13 of them things.
Come on,
but that's what I'm saying. What's the scale? Like, what is the scale?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
think about
what's your top 25?
My top 25?
What's your top? About your top 5 or 10? Because I'm not jacking Bob Cousy.
Okay.
So he got 13 of them.
Top 5? That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna put Bob Cousy in there because I don't like those free throws. So I'm gonna take him out. Those free throws are nasty. So I'm gonna take those out. I'm gonna say Bob Cousy. I'm gonna say you definitely because you my nigga and I like you can score and you got rings. I mean you got rings, my nigga.
Yeah, I got a lot of rings.
I mean basketball, college basketball was dead.
I'm just saying strictly from like you know.
No,
what you seen in your own
New York.
eyes.
No,
I'm saying
I seen what niggas did in college.
Without my bias, right? Without my bias.
Take you out?
Without me. Take me out. Who is your 10?
Okay.
Just give me 10 names off the bat who you think is cold.
10 names. I'm gonna give you my 10. My 10, I gotta give my nigga Kenny Satterfield.
That is cold. That's Cincy.
I gotta go with Andre Barrett.
Fact. That's true.
I gotta go with my nigga Eric Barkley.
That's tough.
I gotta go with
it's tough.
Marbury, of course.
Of
That's 4.
course. It's 4.
I got to throw my man Sham in there because niggas is still using his handle to this day.
Fact.
That's 5. And I shoot him. That's 5. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Kareem Reed. 6. Give me Reed, because he's a thug. He smoked weed before the games. I like Reed. Shea baby. That's 6. Let's see. I'm gonna put Whitehead in there just because he got a lot of rings in the system. If I'm not mistaken, he got the next amount of rings next to Lance, right?
Might be. I think so.
So
I think Whitehead got like 2 or 3.
I'm gonna put him in there. So now I got 3 left. I'm gonna go a couple Westchester dudes now. You said basketball players or guards?
Basketball.
Basketball?
You're 10.
My 10, I'm at 7. I gotta put my man Gus Williams in there because he's from Westchester. That stops right there.
It stopped.
After that, stop there. Because he did years in the league.
Yeah.
It stopped. That's 8. So the next 2, I would have to say Felipe Lopez, 9. And I gotta put Elton Brand in there.
Ooh.
I can't put Lamar Odoms and Artest in there.
That's tough. And we got Chris Mullin in the cut too. You know?
They are, but like I said, I can't put them in there because the niggas named, I got a chance to see them outside also.
Yeah, that's why. Right. But that's what this is about too.
Like Skip.
It's about, I'm thinking.
Hold on. Let me take one out. I'm going to replace Skip with Gus Williams and keep my only Westchester nigga, Elton Brand.
Facts.
There we go. Now, you
top 10.
Made me take you out. That's foul. Because I can't do that. I got to put you in the top 10. No, Russ, I'm serious. Because a lot of these niggas, they didn't play no defense, my nigga. You led their biggies and steals. That's what niggas
country
and my
twice,
nigga.
Twice. Yeah. But that's why too, bro. I'm like,
shooting percentage was high in Louisville.
Yeah. Nah, bro. So like, all right. So my 10, which is, I think I got a pretty good 10. I try to gauge it from no violent queens. I'm seeing the comments is rolling in.
Facts.
But yo, I'm trying to gauge it from a full body of work, but also from a skill standpoint, and then also playing both sides of the floor.
Exactly.
So body of work is important, 1. A skill standpoint is 2. Like, how skilled were you? And then do you play offense and do you play defense, right? So when just looking at that alone, just straight body of work, I think my 5 is going to be pretty solid. So in no order, right? I for sure got Steph. For sure Steph. Then I for sure have from my age, my class, I for sure have Lance. I for sure have I have Strick. I have Rod.
Oh!
I like Rod.
You killed me with that. Rod gotta be there. You know what? Rod was the first nigga I saw on TV with the street ball game.
With the shit,
lie, nigga.
With the shit. And then
that was the first nigga with
that
the real
shit.
Harlem Bronx game.
With that shit.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Layup package is the best.
Everything.
Could you say Rod Strickland has the best layup package ever?
It's up there.
It's up there.
Yeah, because Everett is different too. You gotta remember, they played with a lower backboard, like it's so it's different spins.
Using the glass like he did.
Yeah. So I would definitely, yeah, Rod is just different. He was
Different.
different for that
I
era.
like. I didn't
And
think say Rod is him. No,
he is him. I mean,
I'm
it's a
talking
fact.
about like #1.
Nah, yeah, that's in my top 5.
Niggas say Rod
I'm
number
not.
1. Nigga, I heard niggas say he #1. I'm like, ooh, #1. They say
Nigga.
Rod Strickland would have killed Marbury. I say, wow, that's crazy.
I mean, you can't.
That's crazy. I heard niggas say Rod would have killed
Yeah.
Marbury.
Yeah, it's not a wild statement to say though. You know, you're not bugging if you
Yeah, I
say that.
need
The
y'all
nigga
to
was nice.
get in these comments and let me know. Would Rod Strickland have killed Marbury? But go ahead, Russ. You at 3.
So that Rod was my 3, and then this is in no order. So then I had who did I say I had?
You had
Steph.
Steph,
I had
Rod, and
Lance.
and
I had Steph. Yeah, and then I have Kenny Anderson. That's alma mater.
of course.
Got to. Then 5 for me. This is where it gets really tricky at because this shit could go either way. I might have to go like like Mashburn on him, honestly.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that nigga went to
I might
Mashburn in
have
the
to go
moment. That's what you
Mashburn.
was talking about.
Yeah, I might have to go Mashburn on him for real. Because then after that, the next 5, my next 5 is like for the 10, it's Kimba for sure. In there. Kimba's in there. Then, God damn, then you gotta put Mark Jackson
That's
in
a
there,
fact.
right? Then you gotta put fucking damn. You got for me, you just gotta put Lamar Odom.
Woo! Yeah.
You gotta put Lamar Odom. It's just some things you have to do. Like like it's just some things you have to do. And
he got the classic damn guard move in the Gaucho's gym too.
Man, like
Give
he's
him that.
6'10". I mean, fully loaded career, 6'10". Like his handles got chips.
They all say
Came out of Rhode
they
Island.
like LO.
Yeah, that nigga's. Yeah, of course. I'm a Queens nigga too. I was out there in
Facts.
Queens. I know what it is. And then my last one, God damn. And this is where this part gets tricky because like do I go Nate Archibald on him or do I go like Ron Artest, right? Like which one?
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's tough, and these are conversations that, and this is why I wanted to bring you on because I want to start my wave of niggas.
Yeah.
Because not like that Cam and them, I love them to death, but who the hell are they to say who the top guards are?
Nah, right, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to combine. I'm trying to just because our tests do offense and the nigga do defense. So the nigga did it at all 3 levels too. So in my head, I'm just like, all right, that's where I'm gauging all of this at. Like I'm like all of the guys that I named is either had a mega career, had a great career, or they did it on both ends, or they highly skilled. And then that's 10. That's the first 10. So now the next 10 is like, all right, who else is there? Like, like it's so many names. And that's why I feel like when we talking about this, I think I could find room for me in the next 15 or the next 10.
So you saying you top 25?
Yeah. I'm saying I could find room. That's my 10.
I
You know what I'm
respect
saying?
that.
That's my 10. So
it's hard to throw yourself in there because just the legends. And
yeah, bro. And then
like put yourself. But that's what I mean. When is it time to stop saying like Kenny Anderson, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas?
Until
it's like you programmed to say that.
But
am I right or wrong?
Yes, but that's true. But somebody gotta Somebody
But they
got to get more years in the
give them
LN.
niggas a chance to take that.
Niggas gotta get in the league.
Like, let's keep it real.
Niggas
The way
gotta do that.
I feel about Jay-Z and Biggie, I hope they got Pop Smoke in these conversations. Because Pop Smoke came in the game and fucked up the game early like they did too.
Nah, word.
Pop Smoke would have been a GOAT, my nigga.
Nah, word. There's no doubt about that.
So
There's
Pop
no doubt
Smoke
about that.
better be in these conversations because they not letting new niggas in. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying though, like,
new niggas to come in.
but it's really too, like, you gotta respect too, like, body of work, and I don't think you can go. It'll be unfair. So it's basically like saying, oh, we just gonna dismiss his whole body of work because he's new, and plus that was an old era.
I had the same argument with a guy before, and you know what he told me? Pop Smoke album, both the albums he had, and I had to really go and listen to Pop's albums. They there, my nigga.
Nah,
with
they tough.
Jay-Z first two albums. Pop
think?
albums are crazy, my nigga. From A to D, you playing them.
Nah, I believe it. I believe it. But like, I can see it. It's just hard for me to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see it, but it's just hard for me to believe it because I'm really from Brooklyn.
So you don't want nobody to be better than Biggie and Jay-Z?
No, it's just like it's just like the nostalgic part. Like, the nostalgia for me is like, it's like, how, you know? But like, I think maybe down the road we'll only know down the road the effect that it's gonna have. Like, I think it's still too early. It's like when they retire when they retire my number.
How did that feel?
They can't. Nah, that was different, bro. Like, people just don't get their number retired, bro. Like, niggas just don't get their, like, people get their jersey retired, their jersey honored. There's two different levels to that. Like,
the ceremony, stop the game with the black lights on you, have the people showing all your highlights. That's different.
Yeah, but it's like, but as far as a jersey and a number being retired, it's the way it goes is.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
A jersey is they hang up. A number is nobody can ever touch it.
Finito.
So number
Finito.
2 is going from Louisville?
Finito.
Wow.
Finito. So
that could be a determinant factor of losing a nigga. A nigga say, I ain't going to Louisville. I can't wear number 2. I have this thing about wearing number 2. I haven't played a good game since I've taken off number 2.
That's not so far-fetched. That shit is off limits.
So that's how much they could lose a nigga number.
That shit is off limits. It was actually weird watching people have number 2.
Yeah, me too.
While I was
the prior years to that.
Yeah,
Russ,
I was like,
niggas even look like you. Wear number 2. Nigga have the one leg up, the one arm on.
It was weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Be Russ Smith.
Yeah. This is what I. Like, it was weird, but it was dope. But it was just weird. It was just weird in a different way. But it was dope. But I was like, that number's about to be up pretty soon.
How did it feel knowing that you guys were the first ones to make Rick Pitino get a tattoo?
Nah, that shit was lit. We told Rick before the season. We was like, we knew we was coming off a title and everything. For Final Four, we had the same guys. We was like, all right, we'll do whatever you say. We'll go win the chip and do whatever. But you gotta get tatted, you gotta do something. What do we get out of it besides the chip? We wanna see you get some skin in the game. Like, and he was with it. Yeah, he was with it. He was cool as hell with it. Managers, everybody.
You and Rick still talk to this day?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's love.
Absolutely.
How did it feel coming through the middle, Final Four? I had to ask you this. Dunking on Julius Randle.
Dog.
Did you know you was going to do that? You was like, yo, I'm up here. Oh, shit. I do it on this nigga.
The rivalry game was because Kentucky had all bigs. Like, they was just punching my shit in the layups or whatever. So I was like, all right, yo, next time I come through this motherfucker, I'm about to just punch on everybody. I don't care if it missed. I don't care if I get hung.
Yeah.
I'm going to crush it on somebody. And yeah, that was that. And then so I crushed it on him off 2 feet. That was at Kentucky regular season. And then the next time I crushed it on him, that was Sweet 16 off one leg.
So you dunked on him?
So on twice, yeah,
So
off 2 feet and one leg.
what was he saying? Like, did you ever have a conversation with him about that?
Yo, it's crazy because we worked out together, and I thought that he was gonna dunk on me every single time he got the chance to. I was mad nervous. I was like, yo, I'm like, yo, if he just get mad and just start throwing it on me, I'm not even gonna be mad. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like,
So he didn't really have too much to say about that.
nah.
Basketball's the name of the game, right?
I guess.
That's a fact.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd have held that one to the chest.
So, before we get out of here, Russ, because this is definitely epic. Is there anything that you want to say to, like, the people that are listening to these top fives coming from New York? Because, you know, I mean, what hurts? I wish I never knew you sometimes. You know why? Because that's what fucking doesn't make my word credible sometimes.
Nah, I feel you.
With a fucking
And it's like
iced out
yeah.
VVS fucking Russ Dickless chain on. You know what I'm saying? Russ is the best. Nigga, you got a fucking chain on, my nigga. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to fucking, defend you and niggas know how close we are. But I really mean this. So that's why I asked you, do you have anything like, for the people out there that, that are riding with you that say you deserve to be on this list?
No, I think their feelings are placed well, and there's none of their feelings are placed well. Like it makes perfect sense. Like everything I've done backs up the argument. So I don't really have like it's not like people are gonna be telling motherfuckers phantom stories about how I scored all these points with my arm broke or in a cast or had a face mask on
It's
or
crazy.
averaged 60 or did what I did in college or led New York to school. These are all true stories. Everyone has a Russ Smith story. Like hundreds of thousands of people have a Russ Smith story for sure. And so they're not the only ones that probably feel like that, but it's not politically correct to say that. And also we left out Bassie. Like I feel like his cultural influence alone, bro, is a discussion that has to be had too, because this nigga dropped Through the Fire. And without Through the Fire, there's not a different breed of basketball players coming up from that documentary. So I just feel like there's different ways you can scale it. You can scale it through influence. You can scale it through high school championships, of course. You can scale it through being outside, going to different boroughs, playing. You can do NBA career. You can do longevity. You can do what are you doing now overseas? What did you do in college? So however way you want to scale it, you just got to make sure it makes sense. Because if you put a nigga up against me and my facts outweigh his, you're gonna be the one looking dumb. So so when anybody talks about me, just handle my name with care. That's all.
Facts. 100%. No, like I said, I'm not mad at Sebastian because for me, he was one of them dudes that was just a young nigga that was around with, come on, my nigga, he running around with Jay-Z, my nigga. When Jay-Z was hot. I will never.
You in high school too.
My nigga's the baby nigga running around with the Rock.
Yeah,
come
you
on.
In high school.
But
with Hove.
But
only other nigga with Hove was Braun.
But I still don't think he got it like that. They be calling out Steph. That's crazy. That's
kind of tough. Not gonna lie.
When this nigga yourself, Kimba's you know what I mean?
Yeah. yeah. Nah,
There's
I'm
too
right.
many of them's out there, man.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah. I
I mean,
agree.
my dude.
I agree.
That's what I mean.
I
Like,
agree. I agree. I agree.
we can't let no money and success in the NBA because we know about the industry plants.
Yeah.
I know about these things, my nigga. You know
Yeah, we know.
what I mean? So I know all about, Bobby Altoffs and all of these guys. I know about it, my nigga. I know all this shit. So
And it's
I
not
can't
even
respect shit like that. Like I said, I'm going off the actual stats in the games. That's all.
stats, games, nigga, and who you played against, your numbers, your records, all that shit, your accolades, but most importantly, like your your full body of
Right.
work as a whole
How
at every level.
can they get this?
So you go online, right? You go online. You got Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon.com, and you can find any label you want. And right now we distribute it Kentucky, the DMV, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. We're going to be in Florida and Oklahoma soon. But if you go on the website, we'll ship it right to your door.
Facts. Yeah. Nah, shit tastes delicious, my dude.
That's
You know
lit.
what I mean?
That's lit.
I've drunk maybe about 7 bottles. Me and my niggas that when we working, not one headache ever.
Nah, you're not gonna get one. It's
How do
all
you
proper.
how do you make sure the liquor don't give you headache? You have to taste it. I like to keep tasting different.
Nah, so what it is, it's more so of the chemistry and the engineering behind it all. Like it's like with aged products, they're a little bit more mature and they sit well and they're not diluted. So you're getting a bunch of natural grains. And then in comparison, bourbon and whiskey, that's more natural grains. So you have wheat, you have rye, you have barley in there, grains that you use normally, corn, most importantly. Then versus a cognac, that's more fruit based.
Right.
And with fruit, fruit, you have a lot of sugar, bacteria, and a lot of yeast. So with that, with sugar, as you know, you give a baby sugar, they fucking crash out, right? So when you drink Hennessy, when you drink Douce, when you drink tequila, which is an agave product, cognacs or grapes and fruit based, you get the sugar rush from the liquor as an adult, which is why when you have too much of Hennessy or tequila, adults crash out. They black out. They get cotton mouth, a lot of sugar. But vodkas is easy. It's distilled potatoes. But the science and the chemistry behind bourbon and whiskey, it makes it a lot easier to wake up because all of the products are natural.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
mad. It's a lot. Like I do this, so I'm speaking on it
nah, my
like
nigga.
like
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said that it's hard to put these basketball players on these levels and these lists when no, because look at you got your own liquor, got your own record label. I mean, who has a fucking song with JD Kiss? You know what I mean? You know
word
what I
about
mean?
that.
Got
Yeah,
songs with
word
JD
about that.
Kiss, liquors. My niggas on the level, if you ask me, my nigga.
Yeah, it's definitely levels that's like
You know what I mean?
it's definitely a level, it's whether or not people want to talk about it, but they don't have to. We still gonna do it
That's
anyway.
a fact. That's a fact. I feel like Mason Cam got to bring up a lot of. I feel like they got to bring up all the goats up there. I feel like they need to bring you up there, man. Let you tell your side of the story. All that, like when they started, they got to bring all y'all niggas up
Nah,
there.
if he bring me up there, it'd definitely be worth the while
It's different,
because I mean, yeah, like I would like especially considering with what Cat did, right? Like Cat's a
yeah,
people's champ. You need more people's champs on platforms to tell their side, because that's what I am. I'm a person that didn't have a machine. Like even still to this day, like I put up my own money for my liquor company. I do my own bullshit, my own marketing. Like I go to my own teams. Like I start my own waves. I and that's who I am. So me being up there, it's the people's champ from New York. Like I'm known in every borough. I was in every hood playing.
Right.
I'm every single hood playing good, healthy. Nobody's touching me. Like I'm cool with everybody on any block, Harlem, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, however you want to, wherever it is, whatever hood it is, I'm there. So yeah, that's a conversation to have because I'm sure he's gonna bring people up there that was only in one area or only played high school at that high level. Like I did it all. So
Facts. That's a fact. Nah, you the GOAT, Russ. I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, so Russ, man, I want to thank you for pulling up. We was on here for 2 hours.
word.
This interview I got across what I needed, man. And that's just to let niggas know that, you know, I'm not gonna sit there and just take my nigga that I believe is up there out of the equations. That's all. It's a lot of niggas that you gotta mention. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of dudes that created. And I know when you was playing, when I was coaching kids, you was a role model for them, no different than the Marburys was the role models for niggas like me.
Love.
You know what I'm saying, Russ?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I watched my son have his friends over there, and they have, you know, with his teammates over, and you come to the house, and they just watched you play on TV a week before, and
go
home.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that, Russ.
Yeah, you experienced that firsthand.
These are my guys. These are my guys. Like, Russ, don't leave. So that's what I mean. Each year, each decade, as long as there's basketball, there's always going to be them dudes from your town. Yes, that's them dudes. We can't put them on these pedestals by themselves.
Right.
Because guys like you is keeping the name and the, because I ain't gonna lie, New York was shit for a while, man. New York was garbage. You know how happy it was to see a New York nigga in the Final Four running around, going to the, even though I was mad, he used to say you from Briarcliff, New York. I was like, this nigga.
Yeah, that was where my high school was. I was straight from Brooklyn.
Why they
my
doing
high school was in Briarwood. My high school, Malloy's in Briarwood. That's why.
Got you.
Yeah, Malloy's in Briarwood.
So that's what they just left it like that. I got you. Right? All right, Russ. So definitely, man. I hope this interview reaches the masses so they can see. Look at the stats. Cam, Mace. Look at the numbers.
Word.
My man broke all the numbers. Facts.
100. 100.
I ain't gonna lie, Tone might be in trouble. I learned to DJ a little bit. Let me see.
So finish.
Let me see.
Where Tone at?
Oh! Tone, you in trouble. I got it all, man.
Welcome to the VIP.
Broke a record on my neck, remind me who I used to be.
Oh, Tone finish. Tone finish. You gotta pack Tone up. Tell Tone pack it up. Yeah. Tell Tone pack it up. Tell Tone pack it up.
Facts. Y'all with everybody pulling up. Russ Dickolas, Russ Smith, Mr. and Mrs. It's our #1 sponsor on the show. Y'all see him on all the shows. Y'all know what it is. Family for life. Mace, Cameron, please take a look at this. Put my man in those combos.
Word.
That's a fact. Russ, I'll see you soon, my dude.
My dog.
My man.